What's up, everybody? How you doing today on this, the time of the recording? It is July, almost a January, holy crap. July 29th, a Thursday, and we've got some things to talk about. Only a couple of things, not a whole lot, but Fortnite's picking up again, so that's good. Welcome to Brad's Bad Show About Games. My name is Brad, and I am not part of the Suicide Squad. And, I will explain that shortly. So, first off, we have the new Fortnite crew member skin. Originally, apparently, the concept, this was created by a fan. The original concept, she was called Ava. The new skin crew is Summer Sky. And as you can see from the image here, the original Sky, who is from the first battle pass that I ever had, my introduction to Fortnite from last year. The original Sky from Chapter 2, Season 2 in the background with her summer variant right here, just sort of chilling, looking at her. She's taking a nap. And of course, that's how Fortnite works, is because of the loop and the snapshots. Two versions of the same character can exist at the same time on the island. So that's why there's 4 different versions of Batman, possibly 5 coming in the future. But yeah, I think she's a cool looking skin. I like all the colors for her. Kind of cute. I like the sword. The sword's got a really crazy name. It's like the legendary sword of epicness or something like that. And I looked. The original Sky has like her swords are named like the epic swords of epicness or something like that. Uh, or epic sword of power. It's a really crazy name, really over the top name, but I like stuff like that. It's silly and goofy, and that's why I like this game. Um, she comes with a back bling, which is again, the sword is on her shield. It's a shield and sword back bling, so that's really cool because usually the way they've been doing those now is if the sword is part of the back bling and the sword is also the harvesting tool, you can unsheath it, as it were. You know, Taskmaster had that same thing, and hopefully they'll do that for like I like the it's a simple little visual thing, but I like when they do things like that. Like again, it goes back to like Deadpool's katanas not being his harvesting tools. That would have been really cool. And then they did that for Deathstroke when they put Deathstroke in the game. They made his katanas his harvesting tools. Fixed the problem, but they Deadpool still can't use his katanas. It's kind of sad. Excuse me while I wet my whistle. But yeah, overall, I think this is a good little pack. She gets 2 weapon wraps that are themed on Meowscles for some reason. Uh, Although she's got Meowscles on her shirt. And she has a shadowy variant. I can't remember what they called it. It's not shadow though. Her color scheme is black and orange, which is Meowscles' color scheme, and her eyes glow. Her eyes glow like a bright orange or something like that. So I don't really know if she's supposed to be evil in that version or not. But anyway, I think it's a cool looking skin. Probably, if I had to guess, usually the skins like this with the cute female skins, they tend to be the ones that the sweats all go to. So it wouldn't surprise me if this becomes a sweaty skin. But I like her. I there's no glider, but luckily I think because one of her variants also lets her put on the little hat, the little fluffy guy hat. I don't know if this will like include the built-in emote that Sky has, where she takes her hat off and bounces around on her little hat guy, because the hat guy that's in her built-in emote is her glider. So at least I can put the glider on her and it will still make sense. I don't mind doing that for some of the skins, particularly the Fortnite original skins. I'm a little bit more picky when it comes to like, you know, like I'm not gonna give Aquaman Batman's glider. That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm a little too weird about that, but That's just how I do. But anyway, I think this is a cool little skin, not a bad way. And they seem to be following the pattern that I've picked up on. It seems like every every other month or every month they rotate which is like a female skin or a male skin. So we started with Galaxia. I don't remember if I actually went I don't remember if I went through this before on the last show or not, but or on a previous show, but they seem to be going female skin, male skin, female skin, male skin. Because the last skin we got was Loki, and now who was male skin, and now we got a female skin. And this has been consistent. So by this, the crew pack skin for September should be a male skin. So we'll see if that will hold up and if they're still going to go with this. Somebody pointed out that this now means that every character from the chapter 2 season 2 battle pass has a variant now, except for Tiantina, if you don't count the customizable Maya skin. So because Peely, obviously there are multiple versions of Peely. There are now 2 versions of Brutus. There are several different versions of Midas. There's now 2 versions of Sky. Oh god, who was the other one? Oh no, I'm blanking. There was Peely, Maya, Tiantina. That's 3 of them. Brutus, Midas. Oh, who were they? Deadpool 6. I can't remember. Meowscles. Let's leave Maya and Deadpool out because we're not counting them. Peely, Brutus, Sky, Tiantina, Meowscles, and Midas. Okay, wait. Did I say Midas twice? Let's leave Midas for last. I'm sorry. This is bothering me that I can't remember them, and I just had it yesterday. Peely, Brutus, Meowscles, Sky and Tiantina, and Midas. Okay, there. Got it. I know I got it that time. And then you have Maya and Deadpool as the other 2. Okay, there you go. So yeah, all of them now have a variant except for Tiantina. So that's interesting. But yeah, anyway, let's get off this subject because I've been on it long enough. A round of characters is coming to the game. A lot of DC characters apparently are coming. The ones that we've already seen teases for would be Bloodsport from the Suicide Squad. Now, I am not that knowledgeable of the Suicide Squad, aside of the fact that it has, like, Harley Quinn is supposed to be part of the Suicide Squad. That's the end of my knowledge of this group of characters specifically. And so Harley's already been in the game. There's 3 different versions of her in the game. I don't know, but they didn't really show off much of the skin. But here's a good close-up of his face, I guess. It's an interesting looking character. I want to see him more. And that's obviously to promote the new Suicide Squad film. So, like I said, I don't know much about this character. He's not necessarily, at least from what I've seen, he's not like one of the more well-known DC characters. At least, the mainstream characters, We're talking about Batman, Lex Luthor, the Joker, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. You talk about those guys. I'm not so sure that the Suicide Squad or each individual member is, as recognized. Like, I had to look up what his name was. Like, I thought it was Deadshot. But see, I'm confused. I didn't realize that. I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to comic book characters, even though I love comic book characters. Like, I love the superhero stuff. I'm just not super knowledgeable of it. But anyway, I want to see more of this. Not sure if I'm going to buy it or not. If it looks really cool, though, I might. So, like, I didn't get to get the Flash. And Snake Eyes is in the shop right now. Kind of want Snake Eyes, but with all these new skins coming and stuff, I don't know. I'm I've still got some V-Bucks that I haven't spent yet, and I'm kind of like, which one do I save? Do I skip Snake Eyes for now? He'll probably be back again in the future. Or do I go ahead and get Snake Eyes? But maybe this guy might be cool. I just sitting there and juggling possibilities in my head. Is it worth it to wait, or is it not worth it to wait? I hate when I get like that, but, money don't grow on trees. But anyway, either way, people will be happy. Somebody will be happy to have this character in the game, and that's all that really matters. So looking forward to seeing who all else will join besides him. Two characters that I saw people saying are definitely coming, also, or are very likely to show up, will be Wonder Woman and Cyborg. See, I know those for sure. Wonder Woman, of course, like probably the most iconic female superhero. Uh, you can't really get any bigger than Wonder Woman. Even though I think canonically, Miss Marvel is probably stronger than she is, but I don't know. But it's probably, I would say, Wonder Woman is more iconic as a character. But anyway, would be we already saw people were pretty much predicting that Wonder Woman would be a skin when we saw there was a video Donald Mustard put out promoting the Batman Fortnite comics, which I'm talking about that in just a second too. It's not really a lot, but it's just something to take interest in. But there was a Wonder Woman statue in the background, and we all know, anybody who plays this game, anybody who keeps up with how they promote Fortnite, they know that Donald Mustard drops hints. Fortnite, in a way, is like Fortnite predictions and people who like to try to figure things out. This game is sort of built on the idea of like conspiracy theories and like hidden truths and things. You have to look for the hidden clues of things. Like there's a lot of stuff like that, vagueness, and like with him dropping hints in the backgrounds of things, like he'll change his location on his Twitter bio for certain things, and it's just meant to tease you. It's pure marketing, but it works and it's interesting. But for I think Wonder Woman being in the game, this is a DC center. It's not completely focused on DC, but we just finished the Batman comic book where they teased a rift opening over Metropolis. At the end, Superman, we're now like within 2 weeks of Superman being added to the game, I think, at this point. It may be 2 weeks from today, actually. But we are very close to Superman's arrival on the island. That will be very exciting. Who else is going to join him? We saw Lex Luthor and the Batman Who Laughs at the end of that comic. Could they both be coming to the game? Speaking of the Batman comic, the continuation of this story, there's going to be another series, and it's called Batman Fortnite Foundation. Interesting enough. Who's the character we saw at the very beginning of the season that has completely vanished, and I'm not sure if people have like completely forgotten about him or not, but the Foundation, the founding member of the Seven, who showed up at the end of Season 5 to usher in the primal era of dinosaurs, and then when the aliens destroyed the Spire, a unconscious or dead Foundation, unconscious body hit the water, and we haven't seen or heard from him since. So theoretically, he's on the island, laying in wait, possibly dead. Who knows? So that'll be interesting to see if that character is a focal point of the next Batman story. And, we'll just have to wait and see what comes of that. One more bit of Fortnite stuff. The Rift Tour is scheduled to start August 6th through 8th. It will be some sort of musical event, I think, similar to Travis Scott. And this has not been confirmed as of yet because they just started teasing this morning. This seems to be what the people are... there's been rumored now that there was going to be an Ariana Grande concert in the game. They were planning this. They were working on it. There had been no confirmation of it, or that it was definitely happening. It was planned. It was it was something. It was something like this was either, I don't know if it was in the works. It was something they were trying to put together, and and I'm reading. I'm sorry. Uh, forgive me. Anyway, it was part of this big epic Apple thing, and you saw them lay out some plans they had, which also leads into another thing I'll mention before we get off of Fortnite talk. But an Ariana Grande concert was in their plans. This looks like it will be that, because we already saw that from the other plans was a LeBron James collab. That's already come and gone. Um, Now this looks like to be the Ariana Grande concert. Now, of course, what will it be? It's got to do with the aliens and the alien invasion and the party UFO that is, or the party craft or whatever they're calling it, in the very center of the map over where the spire used to be. There's an extra abductor ship just hanging out, and it doesn't abduct you. From when I was on there, I played a round or two since the update, and it doesn't really do anything. It's just there, but there's a timer over it counting down to the event. So this will be interesting to see. You'll get, and there's some free cosmetics you can get associated with it. So if you want to do that, make sure you don't miss out on those. Free cosmetics are always good. But speaking of that, before we get off of this topic, leakers are now heavily leaning into the rumor that Naruto is going to be in the next Battle Pass. And that's crazy, because I know they were saying that this was a planned collab they wanted to do, but the next season is only about a month and a half away. We're already over halfway done with this season, and what will it be themed? Who knows? It would be interesting. I saw people throwing out the idea of Goku being in the game, and with Superman coming in the game, the idea of we have an official video game where you can have Superman versus Goku, albeit with guns, is still very amusing to me. So if it happens, it'll be funny. But anyway, that's all I got on Fortnite talk. Here's a game that's a little bit different, but you may want to check it out real quick, but you don't have very much time. Rogue Company. I checked this game out. I've been wanting to check it out for a while. I had downloaded it on my Switch and had never played it. Well, then I found out that they're offering their current Battle Pass for free at the moment if you have it on Steam. Now, I don't know if it works if you play it on a different console first and then link your Steam account to that, but as I saw some people were having trouble, so I just deleted it off my Switch and downloaded it on my downloaded it through Steam on my computer, and I got the Battle Pass. And so the last day or two, I've been working to try to progress through that. I think I'm at like tier 7 now out of 50. I got a long way to go. You only got like 12 days left to do this at the time that I'm recording this. So probably 10 days or 11 days by the time you actually get to this episode hits YouTube. It's an interesting game. I enjoy it. I need to get better at it. So far, the two characters I like the most that I have, it comes with I guess 6 basic rogues you can select. And because this isn't like Fortnite, each character has their own unique weapons they can use and abilities you can upgrade. So it's not just purely a cosmetic thing to pick a character. And so far, the two characters I like the most, I've only picked 4 of them out of the 6 that they give you. I like Ronin and I like Anvil. And they come with guns that shoot pretty fast. You can get more shots in. They're weaker guns, but I'd rather have a gun that shoots faster than the powerful gun like that. At least in this game. But anyway, I think the skins and all the characters look pretty cool. Some cool looking characters. I just hope that I hope I'll be able to get all the stuff in the Battle Pass before the end of their season. And again, that's a little less than 2 weeks, about a week and a half. I think I can do it because the game also gives you experience boosters where if you activate them, it doubles your experience that you earn in game for 30 minutes to an hour. And I've got like a few of those that the game gave me. So hopefully I can get all this stuff. Now, will I buy this game's battle pass? Probably like Pokemon Unite. Probably not going to buy another battle pass. I'm good with Fortnite. I like the art style in Fortnite a little better. I like the sort of cartooniness to it and the over-the-topness and just how it's a mishmash of every property you can imagine. I like that over this. And at least, though, I think this is a better battle pass than Pokemon Unite has, which is almost entirely cosmetics for your avatar trainer that you don't even control in-game. You know, like, I'm not buying the Pokemon Unite battle pass just for the one costume for Pikachu and the one costume for Cinderace. I'm not doing it. That's a little bit too ridiculous. But I still like Pokemon Unite. Anyway, check out Rogue Company if you want a free battle pass. Go get that. Free stuff again. Free stuff's always fun. Now for something that I had completely forgotten existed. It pops back into my mind every so often, and I can't believe I never played this game. The GameCube version of NBA Street V3, or Volume 3, I guess. Because the GameCube version comes with Mario, Luigi, and Princess. Why can I not talk today? And Princess Peach as playable characters against some of your favorite NBA players. Why, I don't know, but I love it. And the other night I was watching video on YouTube of somebody playing it, and I was just laughing because whenever Mario or Luigi and Peach has the ball, you hear classic Mario sound effects. Excuse me. I want to play this game. And maybe if this channel hits 200 subscribers, I will play this game. I've looked online to see like how much it would cost to buy a physical copy of this game. It's like $40. $40 to $50 for a cheap used one. I don't think I feel very comfortable paying $40 for an old GameCube game. Like, so I would be okay. Like I said, I'm generally okay with people my personal standard on emulation is that if it's an old enough game, I will emulate it without buying it. Because at some point it's just not reasonable to pay for some of these games that just, like, you can't play this game anymore legitimately. So maybe I'll play this game, maybe I won't. If my channel starts making money, I could always pay for a used copy and then emulate it. I have no problem doing that. I found a fairly cheap copy of Ed, Edd n Eddy's Misadventures that I haven't played this for the channel yet, but I've got a physical copy of that game that I bought so I could emulate it. Because I wanted to be able to have a copy of the game, so I could say, hey, if I wanted to play this in a physical console that I own, I could. It's just easier to emulate it for recording purposes. So if the channel can get some more money, I'll do that. Like, I made an exception for Legend of Legaia because you cannot find a cheap copy of that game for a reasonable price anymore. And it's a very old game. It's a PS1 game. This is not quite as old, I think, but I might make an exemption for it. Either way, I want to check this game out at some time for myself, whether I put it on the channel or not. But I hope Nintendo does. I wish Nintendo would do more things like this. Like, make more fun stuff. Stick Mario in there where maybe he shouldn't be. Like, it's just silly. I get that, like, to a point, maybe Mario being like Fortnite would be a little silly and it wouldn't work with the way that the game works with skins. But maybe it could. But like I said, if they wouldn't give Fortnite Samus, they're not going to give them Mario. Like, if they did that, I would just be like, oh, we thought Mario would be better for this than Samus. I'm like, what? In what world? But anyway, I just thought this would be fun to bring up and talk about for a minute. got a game delay announcement of a game that I've been wanting to keep my eye on. Uh, Kenna's Bridge of Spirits has been delayed, pushed back to September 21st because they want to polish the game, make sure that it is the best experience possible. I'm sort of just paraphrasing what they the statement they put out. This is one of those games I saw the trailer for and it stuck out. It stuck out to me, and I was like, yeah, I want to keep an eye on this. And of course, as always, whenever a game gets delayed, it sucks, but it's for the better. What was the infamous quote? I think it was from Miyamoto. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Miyamoto. Uh, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. Like I see that all the time. I'm assuming that is a legitimate Miyamoto quote, and whether he actually said that or not doesn't really matter because it's the truth. Uh, if you release a bad game, people are going to crap all over it, and it's not going to be good. Look at Cyberpunk 2077. That game, it came out like a wet fart. It had all the hype in the world, man. All the hype in the world. This was supposed to be the biggest, most impressive game you ever played, and literally everyone collectively decided this game sucks. And it looks bad. And there's glitches all over the place. And the working conditions, I think, were like really bad, and it kept getting delayed. But then they decided, even when it wasn't ready, to just release it anyway. Another good example would be WWE 2K20. It was so bad that they canceled WWE 2K21. They completely canned development of that game. And now I think they're going to try a 2K22 and try to bring people back and try to give a new boost to the series. That series has needed a boost for decades, in my opinion. Like the last one I think I bought was 2K16, and I bought it just like to see if, like, I don't even know. I bought it because I kind of liked the wrestling games and I like playing with them. But after they nixed story designer mode, I was just like, that was my favorite part of the game, was to play around with the pre-rendered cutscenes by sticking my created wrestlers in there and trying to come up with storylines and angles for my characters. Like, they took that away, and I was just like, nah, you can keep your rehash of the same stuff pretty much every game. But ultimately, yeah, if this will give us a better game, then by all means delay as much time as you need. Take as much time as you need to do this, delay as long as you need to. Like, especially so that, like, if you don't need to, so that crunch doesn't happen. Like, there's no excuse for crunch anymore. The entire industry has basically said, no, we will not accept situations where a studio has to forcibly work their people like overtime constantly for hours and hours beyond their regular hours just to get a product done. So hopefully this will give us a good game. Moving along, this got announced just this morning. New Pokemon Snap. I always forget to call it new Pokemon Snap. Is getting DLC. Apparently a new course, something like that. Let me see what the Twitter thing says. Where is it? I retweeted it. From Nintendo of America, it says, get your cameras ready. New areas and additional Pokemon are making their way to new Pokemon Snap on Nintendo Switch. A free content update will be available to download August 3rd. So this is a really cool idea, and I'm glad they're doing this. Like there were already a lot of Pokemon in the game. Hopefully this means that they will, I don't know if this is going to be like the only update they get, but this is cool. Like, I've played a little bit of Snap. I've got some footage recorded of it. I just haven't gotten a chance to upload any. I've got like maybe 1 or 2 videos from my playthrough of it up. I want to play it more, but like I said, right now I'm in the middle of like trying to like catch stuff. I want to do my Legend of Legaia playthrough. I'm working on that for the channel. Trying to stay up to date with Fortnite stuff. Now this Rogue Company Battle Pass. I've only got a few days to do that. I'm gonna get to all these games at some point. Like, I'm still trying to get. Like, I finished my playthroughs of Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Sunshine from the All Stars collection. I've just got to get them uploaded, and with my internet being slow, it just takes a while to get videos uploaded. So, and then I try to make sure I've got some variety for you guys, so it's not all just one kind of game. So, I'm working on it. Gonna play more Snap. I like the new Snap game. It's very fun, very cute. Um, it so far is a lot of what I was hoping it would be. Like the idea there's a night and a day mode, there's branching paths that you can go down, and certain Pokemon appear at certain points. Or it's not set by like day that I can tell. And maybe it is, I just haven't seen it, but like as you level up at each area, then more Pokemon show up and they do different things. So it's sort of like the idea I had with like maybe, if you play on Mondays, then maybe this Pokemon shows up. Or, if you play at a certain time, this Pokemon shows up. But then they just gave you a day and night route. So or you can go during the day or you go during the night. That works in my opinion. But yeah, this is a good thing. Glad to see this game's not quite done yet. Now, who knows how much life they'll get out of it? But you know what? This was popular. People really wanted this game for a long, long time, and hopefully they will do better than they've done with like Animal Crossing, where people are kind of just done with the game now because all the updates are just like rehashes of the last year's update. There's been nothing really new that I've seen people have been really excited about. Animal Crossing kind of just fell off. So that game needs something big to get people back into it again, I think. And lastly, we'll go off topic with a side quest discussion of the new Dragon Ball Super film coming next year. We now know what it's called, Dragon Ball Super Super Hero, and it is going to more than likely be completely 3D CG animated. And I'm kind of torn on this because I don't really want to watch Dragon Ball. Like, I don't want to watch a Dragon Ball film in 3D CG because, one, the Broly film was so good, and they just did something like for like a 40th anniversary release for a big film festival, and it was in the style of the Broly film, and everybody was like, I hope they do this, because everybody was predicting it was going to be 3D CG, and people were hoping that teaser, that anniversary piece that they did not long ago, they pushed out, that shared the Broly theme or the Broly style. People were hoping that maybe that would be, carried over, but it's not. It's going to be 3D CG. I'm hoping best case scenario is that it's a mix of both. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be fully 3D CG. But they appear to be going with more, like all of the characters are going to look closer to how Toriyama designed them. So like Piccolo's arms are supposed to be yellow, and the little band around his waist, his belt or whatever you call it, is supposed to be red. The anime makes his arms pink and his belt blue. So they've corrected that for this film. And he has a house with a mailbox, so that's interesting. We got to see talking a lot. We got to see new designs for Pan, who is 4 now, which means we are very close to the end of Z in the timeline. I think they're going to retcon it. I got a feeling they're going to retcon the end of Z, or just completely ignore it and just feel like, you know what, screw the end of Z. We might. Toriyama basically has already rewritten the end, the official lore for the series, whereas like Gohan had found Goku in like a baby's little diaper. Like that was the original like imagery we were given, is like he just finds Goku in a little diaper. uh, or in some cases he wasn't wearing anything at all. But in the Broly film, we see Bardock, we see little baby Kakarot sent off to Earth in full Saiyan garb, or the Frieza Force Army armor. That doesn't come, like, we never see that again in the series. So Toriyama's already like rewritten things and made things different. And he doesn't like Toriyama. That's the thing about Toriyama. He doesn't care if something is gonna like change the official lore. He's gonna do it anyway. If he thinks it's gonna better it, or if he just likes it better, or just is just convenient for him, he'll change the lore on a dime. He doesn't care. He's like, hey, it's my story. If I want to change something in the story, I'm gonna change it. Like, and he's right. He can. It's annoying and makes things hard to follow sometimes, and it's annoying on some level, but whatever. It makes things harder to predict, though. But I think we're approaching the end of Z for Pan to be 4, because she's supposed to be 4 at the time of the tournament where Goku fights Oob. And I think it's interesting. We also see a new design for Krillin, I think I said, yeah, and then some new character, but they didn't really say anything about him other than that was officially Toriyama's official design. The others were made by other people for the film, but the new character that they showed for the in that panel is actually Toriyama's actual, drawing. But anyway, the superhero title, of course, people, they sort of poke fun of the fact that it's called Dragon Ball Superhero, which is going to sound really weird when you say it all together and you don't put a pause. But it seems like they're going to play around with the idea of superheroes. And the only, this has been common in Dragon Ball for a while. Like, we get the Ginyu Force was based on Super Sentai, and Toriyama said he put that in there because his son liked those kinds of shows. The Great Saiyaman, the Pride Troopers from Universe 11, they're all superheroes, and they're superhero themed. But we know that Goku is not supposed to be interpreted to be a superhero. He fights primarily just to better himself as a martial artist. It's the only it's pretty much the only reason he fights is because he wants to see just how good he can get. And Goku has said in the show, I'm not a hero. I ain't no hero. That's pretty much what he said. But he says he cannot just sit idly by and let somebody hurt, innocent people. So he's got a good heart, but his primary reason to fighting is he's a selfish guy. So he fights just for himself in most cases. So I wonder if like I've been toying with the idea of that they come at Goku as a villain, where his desire to fight gets him in trouble. And we saw that with the Tournament of Power, where we thought that the universes were on the line. They kind of were, but they kind of weren't. But that Goku was the one who instigated that, and that's why the other universes, specifically Topo or Top, whatever you want to call him, said that he would not shake the hand of an evil man, referring to Goku. And I think that could be an interesting angle. Also, the angle of the idea of people who remember that King Piccolo or Piccolo in general was evil once. The Saiyan Prince Vegeta was evil once. He's got quite the body count. Granted, both of them are now good guys who would never hurt an innocent person. So even Tien was once an assassin who changed his ways because he wanted to focus on martial arts, because Master Roshi told him, said, you have all the potential in the world, said you got to cut out the bad crap, and focus on bettering yourself. And he ultimately listened to Master Roshi. So the androids were originally designed to kill Goku, and they caused a little bit of havoc. I don't think that the present day androids were ever evil, but they did beat up Vegeta and Trunks. And 17 did at one point say, we're going to go kill Goku because I just think it would be fun. They weren't doing it because Giro told them. They were doing it because they decided, hey, if we're going to go do this, this is what Giro programmed us to do, but it could be fun. We'll do it on our own terms and for our own reasons and not his. But ultimately, they both let bygones be bygones, and 17 and 18 both settled down and had a family. We haven't seen 17's family yet. We know they exist, but we haven't seen them yet. But I hope that this is a cool story. It's supposedly the idea going around is that Pan will be the focus. And I posted this on Twitter. Don't forget how strong Pan is. Goku was training Pan and Oob, or Goku was already training Pan at the end of Z, and was leaving to train Oob. Pan was already strong enough. Pan was strong enough at Z, or at the end of Z, to fly around the world. That was her training. That was how Goku was training her. She could fly around the world, and she was doing it and trying to beat her best time or something at 4 years old. As just a toddler in Super, she could fly into the almost out into outer space. She flew up into the highest level of the atmosphere to get as close to the stars as she could as just a little baby. So she's incredibly strong, and so is Oob. I don't think the point I was making was that both Pan and Oob were already crazy strong, even by Dragon Ball characters, standards, for their ages at the end of Z. Super actually implies that they are even stronger than we had even thought they could be at the end of Z. So that will be interesting to see what happens. And because my idea would be we have to ask, where does this story take place? We know it takes place. It's going to be a time skip. We're going to jump into the future. Characters are going to be older. Does this take place before the end of Z, at the end of Z, or after the end of Z? That's what I want to know. It's still going to be a year, so we're in the middle of the Granola arc in the manga, so who knows how that's going to change this and how that leads into this story. Because I doubt that the manga is going to make it to this particular arc before the film comes out. Because that would be silly if the entire manga, if the entire chapter for this story comes out before the film, it would spoil everything. Now I know that they make changes and all, but still. So this is going to have to be a story that takes place into the future before the manga catches up. But again, where does the end of Z fall in this timeline? Have they just completely thrown the end of Z away and they're going to do something completely different? That's what I want to know. I wouldn't put it past them. But I'm interested in the idea of a show, or the show continuing on with Goku focusing on training Pan and Oob to be the next top warriors. Maybe Oob is the second. Maybe Oob becomes the strongest warrior of their team, with Pan being second. This idea of Oob, who is the reincarnation of a character who had God Ki. Oob is practically a deity. He doesn't know it yet. Pan has Saiyan blood. Watching their powers come up and, try to figure out which one of them is the strongest. A friendly little rivalry. That could be interesting. Who knows what you could do with that kind of a story? And then you could even sideline Goku. Give him something to do. Like I said, Frieza is probably going to be in this show for the long haul. I think Frieza is back for a long time. They're not going to get rid of Frieza on a whim. If Frieza dies again, it's going to be a big deal. That's what they're. There's no reason for Frieza to be back and just hanging around unless they're going to do something with him. At least I would hope. At this point, Broly's been around and we've not seen hide or hair of Broly. Granola wants revenge on the Saiyans. What about Broly? He's a Saiyan. He might be stronger than Goku and Vegeta. Or close. Why is there no rush to have Broly brought back into the story if he's there? I want to, and with Frieza specifically saying at the end of that film that he wants to keep an eye on Broly's power, he thinks he might could use them. I've said this several times now, but like the story is continuing, but there's like a lot of players in the background who are just kind of sitting there, and it's been a problem for Dragon Ball and just how many characters that the story has. Is like you're leaving some of the more interesting characters behind, and I guess that's just what happens when you've had a show or a story, a manga, a comic, whatever, a book that's been around as long as for decades at this point. It just is gonna happen. You can't. Everyone can't be in the story at the same time, but either way, I'm still looking forward to this, and I have hopes that the CG will look good. I think that they corrected something. There was like something to do with the frame rate that made it look really bad, and it did look much better when somebody corrected it. I think they put it up on the website corrected. So I'm very optimistic about this, very happy that we at least know a little bit. There's still no real sense of the plot of the story other than something about superheroes. That's it. That's all we know. Piccolo, Krillin, this new character, and Pan will be in it. Piccolo has a house with a mailbox. That's all we know. We don't really know any plot at all. And Goku, of course, will be in it because he's got to be. So we'll see what happens. 2022 is a long way away, and hopefully we'll get some new interesting stuff, new information, and some cool things fairly soon. Some kind of plot stuff, something, an antagonist, anything. Like they didn't even say who the new character was. They didn't even hint whether it was an important character or not. They said, "Oh, here's a new character design for Toriyama." I'm like, okay. But anyway, thanks for listening to me rant a little bit. Got some exciting stuff happening, man. So guess I'll go see what I can do with Fortnite stuff and try to get this Rogue Company Battle Pass completed before I lose that opportunity. But be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my stuff. You can support my channel through Ko-fi. Please do that. That would help me a lot. And we will see you next time for more gaming news. And until then, later.